I still remember the moment clearly. An active 72-year-old gentleman sat in front of me in my clinic. He looked confused, almost betrayed. Just the week before, he had suffered a mild stroke. "Doctor," he said, "I walk every single day. I never miss it. How could this happen?" And that question has stayed with me. Because what I'm about to tell you today shocked even me as a brain doctor. There is one very common walking habit. Something millions of seniors do every day, believing it is healthy, that can quietly raise stroke risk almost overnight. Now let me be very clear before we go any further. Walking is one of the best exercises you can do. It protects your heart, it supports your brain, it improves mood, circulation, and balance. I recommend walking to nearly all of my patients over 60. But, and this is important, not all walking habits are equal. There is a specific pattern, a specific timing, a specific mistake that can suddenly strain your blood vessels, destabilize blood pressure, and in vulnerable individuals, trigger a stroke. And the most dangerous part? Most people don't even realize they're doing it. Today I'm going to explain exactly what this walking habit is. I'll show you why it stresses your brain in ways you might not expect. I'll tell you who is at highest risk. And most importantly, I'll teach you how to walk in a way that actually protects your brain instead of putting it in danger. If you stay with me until the end, you'll understand how to turn your daily walk into one of the most powerful stroke prevention tools you have. Now let's talk about the problem. As we age, our blood vessels naturally become less flexible. The arteries that supply blood to your brain, especially the carotid arteries in your neck, can stiffen over time. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or even mild dehydration, those vessels are already under stress. Your brain depends on steady, consistent blood flow. It does not like sudden spikes. It does not like dramatic drops. It especially does not like abrupt changes. And here's where the dangerous walking habit comes in. Many seniors wake up in the morning, get out of bed, maybe sip a little coffee, and immediately head out for a brisk walk. No warm-up, no hydration, no gradual build-up. They go from complete rest to fast-paced movement within minutes. On the surface, it feels productive, disciplined, healthy, but physiologically, your body is not ready. When you first wake up, your blood pressure is naturally higher. This is called the morning surge. It's a well-known medical phenomenon. Your stress hormones like cortisol are elevated. Your blood is slightly thicker due to overnight fluid loss. Your vessels are more constricted. Now imagine taking that already elevated morning blood pressure and suddenly increasing your heart rate quickly with a brisk uphill or fast-paced walk. For some people, especially those over 65 with underlying vascular disease, this can sharply spike blood pressure even further. And in certain cases, that sudden surge can dislodge a small plaque in the artery, trigger a clot, or cause a small vessel in the brain to rupture. That is how a seemingly healthy morning walk can, in rare but real cases, become the tipping point. And before you think, that won't happen to me, let me ask you something. Do you check your blood pressure regularly? Do you know if your carotid arteries have plaque? Have you ever felt dizzy or slightly off balance during the first few minutes of your walk? These are not small questions. I have seen patients who did everything right on paper. They exercised, they avoided junk food, they kept active. But they unknowingly stressed their brain every single morning with one simple mistake. And here's the part that makes this even more concerning. Stroke risk is actually highest in the early morning hours. Studies consistently show that more strokes occur between 6 a.m. and noon than at any other time of day. Why? Because that's when blood pressure surges. That's when platelets are stickier. That's when the body shifts from rest mode to activity mode. So if you combine that natural morning vulnerability with sudden intense physical exertion, you can see how the risk multiplies. Now, I'm not telling you to stop walking. I would never say that. What I'm saying is that how you walk and when you walk can make a significant difference in protecting your brain. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to break down the simple science behind this in a way that makes complete sense. I'll explain who is most vulnerable, what symptoms you should never ignore during a walk, and why some healthy habits may actually be harmful if done the wrong way. Because once you understand the logic, you'll never look at your morning routine the same way again. When we talk about stroke, many people imagine something dramatic and sudden. A collapse, slurred speech, an ambulance, siren. But long before that moment, there are silent changes happening inside the blood vessels of the brain. Let me explain this in the simplest way possible. Your brain is like a high-performance engine. It needs a steady, smooth flow of fuel oxygen-rich blood every second. Not too little, not too much, not too fast. In younger years, your arteries are elastic. They expand and contract easily as your heart pumps. If your blood pressure rises briefly, those vessels stretch gently and adapt. But after 60, those same arteries often become stiffer. If you have high blood pressure, even controlled high blood pressure, the inner lining of those vessels may already be slightly damaged. If you have diabetes, that lining can be more fragile. If you have high cholesterol, plaque may have quietly built up over decades. Now imagine this scenario. You wake up, your body has been lying flat all night. Fluid shifts have occurred, you may be slightly dehydrated. Your blood pressure is already elevated because of the natural morning surge. Your heart rate is low from rest. Then, within minutes, you go outside and begin walking briskly, arms swinging, maybe even uphill, trying to get your steps in quickly. Your heart rate jumps. Your blood pressure spikes. Your vessels are forced to handle sudden increased pressure. For someone with perfectly healthy arteries, this may not cause a problem. But for someone with a 40% blockage in a carotid artery, or fragile small vessels deep in the brain, that sudden surge can become dangerous. I once treated a woman in her late 60s. She was disciplined. She walked 30 minutes every morning at 6:30 a.m. sharp. One morning, halfway through her usual route, she felt a brief wave of dizziness. She brushed it off. Probably just didn't sleep well, she thought. By noon, she couldn't move her right hand properly. She had experienced a small ischemic stroke. Now, was walking the only cause? No. Stroke is usually multifactorial. But when we reviewed her data, we saw something interesting. Her blood pressure at 6 a.m. was significantly higher than later in the day. Her arteries showed moderate plaque buildup. The brisk, immediate-intensity walk likely triggered a temporary instability in blood flow that her brain could not tolerate. And this is where I want to gently challenge a common myth. Many seniors believe, the harder I walk, the healthier I am. But health is not about sudden intensity. It is about controlled, gradual stress that your body can adapt to. There is also another walking habit that concerns me. Some people walk long distances without drinking water beforehand. Overnight, your body loses fluid through breathing and perspiration. Even mild dehydration thickens the blood slightly. Thicker blood moves less smoothly through narrowed vessels. Now combine thicker blood, higher morning blood pressure, and sudden physical exertion. You see the pattern? There's also something called orthostatic fluctuation. When you stand up quickly and start moving, your body has to rapidly adjust blood flow to the brain. In older adults, that adjustment can be slower. That's why some people feel lightheaded in the first few minutes. If you ignore that lightheadedness and push through aggressively, you may be overriding a warning sign from your body. I want you to think carefully. Have you ever felt slightly off during the first 5 minutes of your walk? A brief blur in vision, a sense of imbalance, a mild headache starting, pressure in the back of the neck? These symptoms may seem minor, but they are messages. Your brain whispers before it screams. And here's another important point. Not all times of day are equal for exercise. Research consistently shows that cardiovascular events, including strokes and heart attacks, are more common in early morning hours. That doesn't mean morning exercise is forbidden. It means it must be approached intelligently. Slow ramp up, proper hydration, monitoring intensity. We are not trying to scare you. We are trying to empower you. Because when walking is done correctly, it lowers stroke risk dramatically over time. It improves circulation. It enhances brain plasticity. It reduces inflammation. But when done carelessly, especially in high-risk individuals, it can momentarily tip the balance in the wrong direction. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to modify your walking routine so it becomes one of the safest, most protective habits for your brain. I'll give you a simple step-by-step morning routine that protects your vessels, stabilizes blood pressure, and strengthens your brain instead of straining it. You'll learn when to walk, how fast to start, what to drink, and the warning signs you should never ignore. Because small adjustments can make a life-saving difference. Now let's talk about what to do instead. Because I don't want you to walk away from this conversation feeling afraid of walking. I want you to feel confident, prepared, protected. Walking, when done wisely, is one of the most powerful anti-stroke tools we have. It improves blood vessel flexibility. It lowers long-term blood pressure. It enhances circulation to the brain. It even stimulates the growth of new neural connections. The key is not to stop walking. The key is to change how you start. First, never go from bed to brisk walking in 10 minutes. When you wake up, give your body time to transition. Sit up slowly. Take 5 deep, calm breaths. Let your nervous system shift gently from sleep mode to wakefulness. If you normally check your blood pressure, this is a good time to do it. Morning readings can tell you a lot. Before you even think about stepping outside, drink a full glass of room temperature water. Not coffee, first. Water. Your brain and blood vessels need hydration before stimulation. Coffee can come later, but hydration should come first. Now here is a habit I strongly recommend to my patients over 60. A 5-minute indoor warm-up. Simple movements. March in place gently. Roll your shoulders. Slowly rotate your neck. Do light ankle circles. Raise your arms overhead a few times while breathing steadily. This gentle activation allows your heart rate and blood pressure to rise gradually instead of suddenly. It gives your arteries time to adjust. Then, when you step outside, the first 5 to 7 minutes of your walk should feel almost too easy. If you can't comfortably hold a conversation during those first minutes, you're going too fast. I often tell my patients, start slower than your ego wants. After those initial minutes, you can gradually increase your pace to a moderate level. Moderate means your breathing is slightly deeper, but you are not gasping. You should feel warm, not strained. Another important point: avoid steep hills at the very beginning of your walk. Inclines sharply increase blood pressure and cardiac demand. If your route includes hills, save them for the middle of your walk after your body is fully warmed up. Now let's talk about timing. If you are at higher risk, meaning you have high blood pressure, diabetes, known carotid plaque, or a previous mini-stroke, you may consider walking a bit later in the morning. Not immediately at dawn. Late morning or even early evening can be safer windows for some individuals, because the intense morning blood pressure surge has already passed. But here's something else that matters just as much. Pay attention to warning signs during your walk. If you feel sudden dizziness, unusual weakness, confusion, vision changes, slurred speech, or numbness, even if it lasts only a few minutes, stop immediately and seek medical attention. Do not push through it. Do not tell yourself it's nothing. A transient ischemic attack, sometimes called a mini-stroke, can present subtly, and it is often a warning shot before a larger stroke. Now let's address a very common mistake. Some seniors walk while holding their breath without realizing it, especially when going uphill or trying to walk faster. This is called a Valsalva-like maneuver. It temporarily spikes blood pressure dramatically. Always breathe rhythmically. Inhale through your nose for a few steps. Exhale through your mouth for a few steps. Keep the flow smooth, and please wear supportive shoes. Falls during sudden dizziness can cause head injury, which complicates everything further. Diet also plays a quiet but powerful role. If your evening meal the night before is very salty, your morning blood pressure may be higher. Heavy late-night meals can worsen morning vascular stress. A lighter dinner, balanced in vegetables, lean protein, and healthy fats, supports better morning stability. Potassium-rich foods like spinach, avocado, and beans help balance sodium and support blood vessel health. Omega-3 fats from fish can help reduce inflammation inside arteries. These are long-term protections that make your daily walk safer. Let me pause here and ask you something important. Does your current walking routine include a warm-up? Do you hydrate first? Or do you head out immediately because you believe discipline means speed? There is strength in wisdom. In the final part of this video, I want to speak to your heart. Because this conversation is not just about blood vessels and pressure numbers. It's about independence. It's about staying sharp. It's about protecting the brain that carries your memories, your stories, your family. And I want to leave you not with fear but with confidence and hope. I want you to picture something for a moment. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. You're walking through a park. The sun is soft, your steps are steady, your mind is clear. You remember names, you remember stories. You feel balanced, confident, independent. That future is not built by dramatic, extreme actions. It is built by small, wise decisions repeated every single day. As a brain doctor, I have seen the heartbreak of stroke. I have watched strong, independent people suddenly struggle to speak, to move, to remember. I have also seen something equally powerful, the quiet strength of prevention. Most strokes do not come without warning. The body gives clues, patterns, risk factors, small habits that either protect you or slowly strain you. Walking is not the enemy. Rushing is. Sudden intensity is. Ignoring your body's signals is. When you wake up tomorrow morning, I don't want you to feel anxious. I want you to feel informed. Sit up slowly. Hydrate first. Warm up gently. Start slower than you think you need to. Build gradually. Breathe rhythmically. Listen carefully to your body. That simple sequence can dramatically reduce sudden stress on your brain's delicate blood vessels. And remember this, protecting your brain is not about doing more. It's about doing things smarter. Your brain carries your memories of your children's first steps. It carries the sound of your spouse's laughter. It carries decades of wisdom and experience that no one else in the world has. It deserves care. If you are over 60, or if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol, these adjustments are not optional luxuries. They are powerful safeguards. And if you've been walking the wrong way for years, please don't feel guilty. Feel grateful that now you know better. Knowledge is protection. Before we close, let me leave you with one more thought. Consistency beats intensity. A gentle, well-paced 30-minute walk done safely for years will protect your brain far more than a few months of aggressive, rushed exercise. If this message helped you, if it made you rethink even one small habit, then it has done its job. I encourage you to share this video with someone you care about, a spouse, a friend, a parent. Sometimes the simplest information can prevent the biggest tragedy. And if you want more honest, science-based senior health guidance explained in plain language, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling me your current walking routine. I truly read them, and your questions often inspire our next discussion. Take care of your brain. Walk wisely. And I'll see you in the next video.